Hey everyone, a quick note before we dive into this episode. This is the second full interview that we are publishing from the conversations I had back in February when I went to Puerto Rico to shoot a documentary about what's happening in the NFT and crypto art scene on the island. Puerto Rico is really becoming a hub for the blockchain, and I wanted to show what was happening in real time. So I went to Puerto Rico, had conversations with a whole bunch of amazing artists and technologists living and from the island, and this is one of them. So this is my conversation with Juan Salgado, who is an internationally renowned tattoo artist. He's tattooed folks like Ricky Martin and Bad Bunny. This conversation happened before the recent allegations against Ricky Martin came out. And Juan's just in general a early adopter of technology. He's been at the forefront of a number of different industries, including social media. And Juan recently made a big announcement, which is that the only way moving forward to get tattooed by him will be to own one of his NFTs, which he launched earlier this year. His tattoo program or his NFT collection is called the Tattoo Skullz Society. So we talk about that in this episode, as well as talking about Puerto Rico more generally. Again, this was an interview I did for this documentary, so it's not my typical interview, and it did take place back in February, but I think you're going to enjoy it, and I'm just excited for more people to learn about Juan, who is an amazing force in Puerto Rico and around the world, and a great person to have as part of our NFT community. I hope you enjoy. Juan, you are an internationally renowned tattoo artist. You've tattooed Ricky Martin, Daddy Yankee, others. And tomorrow you are launching your Tattoo Skullz Society NFT collection.
Yes.
So by the way, thank you very much for making time for me today. I know this is a busy time for you.
I haven't been sleeping much.
Yeah.
I'm super happy with that.
So if you just start freaking out in the middle of this, we'll know why. Tell us about Tattoo Skullz Society. What is this NFT?
So it's a collection of 5,000 unique skulls, and they're all packed with amazing accesses and utilities. So we're basically starting off an artist community with this. With each NFT, you have basically a winning ticket, because we're going to be doing giveaways a couple of times a year, including like original artwork, paintings, prints, stickers, and also VIP tattoo sittings. So the fun part about this is that if you have the winning NFT, we're going to post it, the whole community is going to know. So you then decide what you're going to do with your NFT. If you're going to, well, we can't tell you what to do with your NFT, but you decide if you want to resell, or if you want to redeem it for your tattoo, or if you just want to ignore it and keep on going.
So this is a big deal, and I know when I've mentioned your name to folks in Puerto Rico, they're like, of course, Juan is no longer giving tattoos except through this thing called an NFT.
Yeah.
So that was sort of the big revelation with this project, is you are now only taking clients essentially from folks who are part of this NFT community.
Exactly.
Why did you decide to do that? Why is that better for you and for, I guess, everyone, hopefully?
I'm already booked for approximately 2 years. So my schedule was getting super hectic, and I wanted to put in other type of projects, as tattoos as well, but other projects like NFTs, murals. I'm designing for a couple of companies now and all of that, and it was being hard for me to accommodate all those things as I was booked for 2 years. So I took a decision just to close the booking, for new clients. I still have to tattoo 2 years worth of people, but this way through the NFT we can filter a little bit, and also people can take advantage of owning that spot. Mm-hmm. So for me it's something that we all win. So and at the end I still tattoo, and that's what I want to do. There's a lot of people that say oh, you quit tattooing for doing NFTs. I'm like, no, I'm still tattooing. I'm doing NFTs so you can get tattooed.
And that is something you and I have actually talked about before, where for you, the inclusivity piece of this, where you had folks locally here who wanted to get on your books, wanted to get a tattoo from you, and couldn't because you were so booked up.
Yeah.
Was that a big part of the impetus for this program?
Yeah. Also, my tattoos, some people consider them expensive or out of their budget.
What does it usually cost?
Depends. Approximately, for VIP sittings, it's either from $5,000 to $10,000 per sitting. That's 7-8 hours tattoo. So it's based on not for everyone, but through the NFT, I'm making it accessible for everyone, because you only pay 0.08 Ethereum for your ticket, and if you win, you already can afford a $10,000 tattoo. You know.
So I heard you say that you think in, I think 5 or 10 years was the time frame you gave, like all tattoo artists will book through NFTs.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the human race always tends to fix problems and make things easier. You know, that's why cell phones exist and everything is in your cell phone. So I think in the future they're going to understand the benefits of having your waiting list throughout NFTs, and they'll definitely catch up. If not, they're going to lose.
Not all tattoo artists are as popular as you are. Does this also, like, is there an economic benefit here that you see? You talk about it solving a problem. Like, what is that problem? Is it partly economic?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still keep charging for my tattoos, basically, and people that couldn't pay for a tattoo can get tattooed, or if they decide, they could make money with the NFT as well.
And so for I'm trying to think of other tattoo artists who maybe don't have, you know, your level of sort of stature.
Okay.
For them, they're still getting paid for their tattoo work.
Yeah.
But now there's this NFT out there that somebody may choose to resell for some reason, and they can get a cut of that secondary. Is that how you see this really ballooning to more artists?
I don't know about artists that are not well known. I think they gotta work on that first, and then do the NFT thing. You know, because I think it's part of it. I think you gotta have like a demand. There's gotta be people waiting for your work.
Yeah.
For this to work.
I think
to really work. So definitely everybody can do it, but they have things to do first.
Well, and that's such a big thing that I feel like I try and emphasize to folks, which is the NFT itself doesn't create demand. I think right now we're in an early stage where sometimes it does. Like sometimes it's so new that like the novelty of the NFT is enough to catch attention. Yeah, but that won't always be true.
I think it started like that in the beginning because there was no competition for collections. But right now I think it's all about utilities, and utilities is what's making this a community thing, because you have things in return. So you have a constant communication with your holders and the buyers. So it makes it a community.
And it also makes it more work. Is this more work than the way you were running your tattoos previously?
Not at all. I mean, it's for me. It maybe more work, but I enjoy it more.
It's work you like.
Because now I have a community and I have an outlet for my artwork and for future artists. Because obviously we're started with my collection, but we're thinking way bigger. We're thinking this as an artist community, you know, and for example, like a amazing tattoo artist from Venezuela or something wants to get featured through our community, we can do that, you know? So I
want to talk about that. I want to talk about the communities you're bringing in. But I wanted to ask, is the hope here, you've got 5,000 of these Tattoo Skullz Society NFTs, and you're doing these raffles and these giveaways. Yeah. Anybody who's a token holder can win things like prints and art, and then of course the holy grail, which is the tattoo sitting with you. Yeah. Is the goal that over time all 5,000 NFTs at some point win that VIP sitting, and so if you hold long enough you should win it?
I think
if you live long enough.
I don't know mathematically how possible is that, but I mean for sure. That's why I want to make it an artist community, because obviously, like, I'm not sustainable. You know, I'm gonna get old probably. I'm probably not. I mean, sure, you're gonna get old.
I don't know. Tech's moving fast, man. This is living proof.
I'll someday die, but the community can keep on going with other artists and other artists. So that's the whole point.
So you mentioned like other tattoo artists in Venezuela. I know you're also thinking like locally here in Puerto Rico. Who are some of the initial, say, artists or programs that you want to bring in here locally?
It depends. We're still on experimentation mode, I think. You know, so if this actually works at the end, I already have a couple of names that I'm going to invite. You know, obviously people that are like well known or have a big following is going to be priority, because it's going to help us make the community even bigger.
And why would they want to come join sort of this program as opposed to launching their own NFT?
I mean, that's for them to decide. We'll obviously present them with the benefits of being part of our community. It's already going to be built. Yeah. So that's a decision they have to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be helpful for some artists. You know, obviously there's some artists that won't do it because they think they can do it by themselves, and they surely can. But artists that want our help and want to be featured, like we can definitely talk.
Well, it's sort of like all jewelry stores, right? End up like convening on the same, street or whatever. You'll have like 5 jewelers. If you all come together, it just attracts more value to this project, and somebody's coming in because of you, but they also then learn about this other artist. Or so as long as they're getting, a percentage and they're getting incentivized in that way, I think it makes all the sense in the world to like partner up.
Yeah.
So
I also see it as a growing thing, as an evolving thing, because right now we have like 6 or 7 utilities that we started with, but in the future we want it to evolve that. So let's say if a big hotel brand wants to join the Skullz, we can talk about business, and we can offer maybe like a weekend in their stay as one of the prices for the raffles and all of that. So I see it as a thing that has a really good potential for growth.
And it's worth mentioning for folks who maybe don't know, like you're pretty well connected in the branded world. I know you're doing, am I allowed to say what you told me earlier, the McDonald's cup design, and
sure.
you're an artist beyond even just your tattoo work.
I'm working for McDonald's. I'm doing a collaboration with them, and also with Ford, the car brand.
Yeah, so you're like well positioned to make some partnerships that are valuable. Yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that too.
And tell me, like, how did you first get into NFTs? What inspired the Tattoo Skullz Society? Like, how did this all come to be?
So my older brother, he's like a big nerd. I say in the best sense.
Nerds are running the world, man. I'm a
nerd too.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd, but he's like a bigger nerd than me. He's my mentor in the nerd business.
Yeah.
So he talked to me first about it. Then I had a couple of clients that were into into crypto, like a couple of crypto millionaires, even billionaires. I've tattooed, and they started mentioning me all the things. They helped me create my first wallet and all of that. So it's been with a lot of mentors, a lot of friends that I like to call mentors.
Did you have like a click moment when you were like, oh, like that's why this makes all the sense in the world and we should do this?
Yeah, I mean, like I told earlier, I think humanity always tends to fix their problems, and I think NFTs fix a really big problem, and it's the resale problem in every industry. Like for example, if I was gonna throw a concert and my concert was sold out in 5 minutes, people are gonna resell those arena tickets for crazy money, and I wouldn't get anything. Mm-hmm. But if my tickets were NFTs, I would get 10-20% of each resale. So I think just because of that, I'm pretty sure all major brands in the world have an NFT branch right now, making it grow, exploring, gathering teams for that, because I think that concept is what makes it like undeniable.
MetaMask is the leading Web3 wallet to get you access to everything you need in Web3. If you're just getting started on your NFT journey, you need MetaMask. And if you need to fund your MetaMask account in order to buy that NFT that you've been eyeing, well, now you can do that directly through MetaMask. Just click the blue buy button on the home screen. Personally, I'm mad that I've spent extra gas fees transferring money from Coinbase to MetaMask in order to buy NFTs. I've been using MetaMask directly, and it is so much better. You can also buy stable coins and native tokens from Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, CeeLo, and others, and you can do it directly with your debit card, your credit card, through Apple Pay or Google Pay. And there is now an improved buying experience on MetaMask Mobile. You'll only see tokens that are in your region, so it's personalized to you, and you'll get real-time quotes, so you know you're always getting the best deal. If you haven't downloaded MetaMask yet, what are you waiting for? Go try it out. You can learn more about buying cryptocurrencies with MetaMask at metamask.io/buy-crypto. So let's talk about NFTs and crypto here in Puerto Rico. That's what I'm here to do. I mean, it feels like the scene is exploding. It's such a hub for this. I think Act 60 is obviously one reason for that. There's sort of this obvious economic incentive for these transplants coming in and trading crypto here. But is there something else about Puerto Rican culture or the work that gets done here that you feel like makes it particularly amenable to the NFT crypto scene?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I think the crypto guys moving in definitely helps. There's this NFT mogul called G Money. Mm-hmm. He moved to Puerto Rico. He did an event here called the Metaverso, and I started selling my first NFT during that time as well. And Ismo is a really good artist from here, my friend too. So it was like a momentum kind of thing, And also the fact that Puerto Rico is so small, that word spreads out like super quick.
And it also seems like you have a really robust art scene and like a lot of creative people who are doing work that like fits well with the NFT scene in these early days when it's really a focus on art. I'm curious too, this is something I was sort of hypothesizing on earlier, which is crypto has a very sort of fuck the man vibe to it, and sort of breaking out from institutions.
It's a true rebellion.
Yeah.
That's why I always say I think crypto is a true rebellion.
And do you feel like there's...
I'm getting in trouble for saying that, but that's my opinion.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, 100%. You're not in trouble for that at all. And so, do you feel like there's that spirit here in Puerto Rico naturally? There's like this rebellious spirit.
For sure. I'm pretty sure that people are finding economic freedom throughout crypto right now, and that's probably one of the reasons that there's like an employee crisis in the world.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people posting, I quit my day job. Like every day I see it on Twitter.
Yeah, there's all the
people
jokes.
Make it on NFT, they make it on crypto, and they're like, it's not going to work for anyone, you know?
Well, there's the joke, it's like I quit my 9 to 5 to work like 6 to 11 in NFTs, which I know you know very well. You're experiencing it right now. What about the tension, or I've been hearing there is tension sort of on the island or around the NFT and crypto scene that's emerging, I think mostly towards the transplants. Like, do you have thoughts on that? Where is that stemming from?
I mean,
you don't really think about it.
Puerto Rico is a place that basically, to put it in general terms, 50% of the island wants to be part of the US, 50% don't feel they want to be part of the US. So I think that whole debacle is what it's targeting, like the fight between the people that are moving here from the States versus the locals. You know, but I personally, like, I don't want to get into that type of conversation right now, but it's not their fault. You know, it's a law that our government created. So if people are going to get mad for that, they should get mad for me at the government who created the laws, you know? Like, me personally, I have really good friends that I've made, people that moved in the island. So, I mean, I'm basically neutral on the subject.
You talk about the financial freedom from crypto, and I'm sure, like, in some ways your NFT program feels freeing. Like you said, you now don't, you know, you're eliminating this 2-year wait list from your books in a way that probably feels great. How much of that do you think is a result of, again, being really early right now in NFTs and being early in this space? And how much do you think that is something that will persist, where it'll always be a financial freedom tool?
I definitely think being early helps. It helped me in tattooing. I started tattooing 20 years ago, and I like to believe I started in the right era. Like right now, I think it will be way harder. Even to get followers right now on Instagram and all of that, it's super harder than it was 10 years ago. You know?
How did you get your start? Like, what are your like tips and tricks to an aspiring tattoo artist? I know you're saying it's harder now, but like, what was your journey?
First, you gotta work on your skills. You know, I have more than 165 international awards. So before even being known at all, I was winning worldwide. I was a world champion for 8 consecutive years in color tattooing. You know, in one of the best competitions that they do in the States. So I worked first on that, and all of a sudden, I remember it was back in 2007, I'm the world champion, right?
Wow.
I beat the best in Japan, the best in Europe, the best in the US, I beat him. So I'm like, here in Puerto Rico, being the world champion, no clients.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you have to do then? You know, like,
oh my gosh.
I just became the world champion. So I understood that if nobody knows you're the world champion. So I found early Facebook. I remember I started on MySpace first, and I understood like how that was an amazing tool to reach people and get clients and spread the word. So I started that really early. I
feel like there are a lot of similarities between early social media and early NFTs.
Yeah.
And you're clearly on the frontier of both. I have this sort of theory that I think, like in social media, not every brand at this point has a social media account.
Yeah.
Even small businesses, you sort of have to. You feel like you're not really a part of the world or not really a business if you don't have a social media account. But there's like degrees. Some social media accounts are really good. I think like Wendy's notoriously has a very funny Twitter account, whereas McDonald's, like I don't know anything about their Twitter account. I feel like NFTs will end up playing out a similar way, which is that all brands, businesses, etc., will have some sort of NFT program or will use NFTs in some way. But there'll be degrees to which like some will be notable and amazing, and others will just sort of be there because they have to be. What do you think?
It's cool that you bring this up because right now I have a lot of brands from Puerto Rico like wanting to meet with me because they want to collaborate on an NFT project. Like for example, I'm gonna work on a future NFT project with the brand Medalla. It's our beer.
I will admit, I just drank some of a Medalla before coming here. I felt like I needed to try it.
Awesome. So for example, that's why I told you I see brands really interested in the NFT. I think as a moneymaker for brands right now, I think it's a little bit early.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's about time that they start on it.
Well, and for brands, I think there's an obvious play if you're Nike or Adidas or a brand that like metaverse sneakers are themselves an item that people want. Yeah. For a brand like Medalla, which is obviously based on like being in the physical world, I feel like NFTs are really just a way to build a bond or a deeper bond between you and your customer and you and your consumer, because you can build out these experiences for them. It's really like a brand building play. Is that how they're thinking about it? Is that what you're talking to them about?
I talk to them, so I guide them a little bit. So they're basically, they want to reap the benefits of the utility. So if you get, for example, you get an NFT from Medalla, you get VIP access to all the concerts they sponsor. You get a free keg every year, stuff like that.
And I think that's that like building that closer relationship with your consumer that I'm talking about. Like, giving them a concert experience is going to make them love you maybe even more than that they grab you from the fridge.
I think it's just creating community. I think the future is going to be a little bit different than it is now. Like people are being a little bit freer from the government each year. So I think it's going to end up being like a tribe thing. So each brand, each person, each influencer, celebrity is going to have like their tribe.
Yeah. It's a way to show who we are. Like, what is more fundamental to humans than like communicating who we are and what we care about? I mean, that's what tattoos are about, right? You're communicating something about yourself with the tattoos you have. That's what NFTs are. It's like communicating, it's a deeper layer of communicating who you are and what you love and the tribes you belong to, and which will be probably both good and bad. Tribalism can
everything has like two sides.
Yeah.
So it's gonna bring a lot of benefits and a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's part of it. I think in the future there's gonna be like a super big police brand. It's gonna be like the crypto police and the NFT, FBI. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's like good things are starting to happen. Also, like there's gonna be very clever people trying to steal cleverly or stuff.
Well, we're seeing that. I mean, the scams we're already seeing are
there's
scary.
good geniuses and evil geniuses.
Geniuses come in all flavors. Okay, I heard your first NFT or your first tattoo you ever did was on yourself.
Yeah.
Like a little star. Do you still have it?
Yeah, this one, this little star right here.
That was the first NFT you ever. Oh my gosh, I keep saying NFT. Your first tattoo ever. You should make an NFT of it. Juan's first tattoo. Non-fungible. There you go. It's a non-fungible tattoo.
So yeah, it's a star. It's basically a red star. So I always say that this star, the revolution. Because the red star is the sign of the revolution. So this is the first.
You really do belong in crypto.
This is the first tattoo I did, and this brought the whole wave.
Wow.
After that.
And what was your style at the point when you first started? Like, did you have one?
Style.
Just like do something, yeah.
First years of my career, just started like copying things I like. So that's how you learn.
And were you a drawing artist before? Like, when did you decide? Did you always know you wanted to do tattooing, or did you think you wanted to do other art?
I've always been an artist. Like since I had, my brother tells me when I was 3 years old, like he gave me a pencil, and when I threw the first line, I was like. I can translate thoughts into paper like that. Cool. That's what he saw in me, and after that, I just didn't stop drawing. I was a super shy person. Like I didn't see people in the eye or anything like that. And so I think art helped me cope with humans at first. So I kind of always was like the best that I did in my class in drawing and all that. So I've always been an artist. Like my mom never could resell my books because they were all drawn. My notebooks, I never write what the teachers told me because I was always like drawing and all that. So I remember in 9th grade, I heard about a school in Puerto Rico that it's an art high school. It's called Central de Artes Visuales. So in ninth grade, I was in a Catholic school. I hated it with all my heart because it was like a high school movie, like the cool ones, the nerds, the super
Also,
fights every day in the school. I swear.
And if you're born rebellious, what's more of an institution than Catholicism?
So I heard about that. I took the test by myself. I decided to move schools. You know, like who does that in ninth grade? Who decides to move? You know, so I decided it, and it opened up my whole world because in this school, you're one of the cool guys if you were one of the good artists.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, this is my crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, I wanted to be an architect. I remember. And then I saw a movie called Great Expectations with Ethan Hawke. I don't know if you saw it ever.
Is it based on the book Great Expectations?
I don't know. Maybe. But it's basically he's basically an artist. So his story like clicked in my head, and I started like messing around with the idea of being a painter instead of an architect. So after that, in college, I just concentrated in painting and sculpture.
And then when did you make the switch to I'm gonna draw on people?
So I started tattooing when I was 20, so I still was studying art and tattooing part-time, but I started getting more known and more known. I started winning prizes, and I started traveling every month. So I studied college for almost 7 years, and I didn't graduate for 2 classes, because my career was exploding and I just didn't have time. Like it got to the point that teachers were giving me free grades. Like, you know, in my art school, in my art class, in the last, I'm gonna say the name, but in the last, one of the last institutions I studied, I didn't even enter once and I got an A. You know, like, cause he asked me for, like, just do a drawing for me and I'll give you an A. You know, stuff like that. But even with that help, I couldn't finish.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I love that because it's like what the treatment athletes get, you know, like there's like the athlete track of classes. It's like, if you're so talented in something, I do think it's, you know, I don't know what
yeah,
if you
I
went
remember in college, like my teachers were telling me, like, why are you here?
Yeah.
You could be working as an illustrator right now. Yeah. Like, and I just lost interest, you know. And my mom's a professor. She has a doctor's degree and all of that, so she
was she like
she already got over it, but it was very, very, very sad for her when I left.
You've done all right.
Yeah, and I don't recommend that though. Like I would have finished because I mean I haven't needed my diploma in all these years, but it's a pretty good tool.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, galleries, like art galleries. There's like important art galleries that if you don't have a diploma in art, they won't even show you.
Okay,
work.
but see, that's stupid, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what you think.
It's old way of thinking. I think it's changing. It's changing, but it wouldn't hurt you to have a diploma. That's what I say. You know.
But I feel like it. So, did you go to school here in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
What is the cost of like higher education in Puerto Rico? Is it like in the States?
No. Here we have a lot of help from the federal government. So
oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so if you apply and you are available for that, they basically pay for your studies.
But I have such a problem with it in the States, just given how expensive it's gotten to get a degree in the United States, and you know, and you're in the States. I don't know. I never know how to refer to it because obviously you've got this Puerto Rico United States tie. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. You're going to require somebody to get a degree that's going to put them into a tremendous amount of debt when they could have gone and been an apprentice and gotten a better set of art skills or something else than college did.
I have exactly the same opinion as you. And in the past, it used to be like that. Like if you were like a good artist at 11, 10 years old, they would send you to apprentice under another artist. You know, so don't lose time doing things that you're not good at.
Totally.
So I'm all up for that. I'm all up for that. Yeah,
great.
For sure.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Overpriced JPEGs. If you liked this conversation, if you liked this episode, please go ahead and hit subscribe. It helps me out, it helps the show out, and it means you will get alerts and updates when we post new content. Thanks again.